Hey everybody, it's Kirk Groombridge here, broker of record at Exit Realty, CK Elite in Chatham. Just wanted to post a video for you today highlighting something that's really important to us as a brokerage, but not just us here in Chatham-Kent. It's actually part of the fabric that makes up Exit Realty Corp. So no matter where you find an Exit Realty in North America, I'd suspect this is an important part to what makes them a brokerage, and that is charity and charitable contributions and giving back to your community through volunteering and donations. As a matter of fact, you may or may not realize that a small portion of every deal that comes through Exit Realty CK Elite is donated back to a local charity, whether it's a buyer end or seller end. We've had 100% buy-in from all of our agents, including our own office administrator, who gives a portion of her weekly check back to the local charity as well. We've actually just finished up a fundraiser over the past several months for a charity here in Chatham called Neighbourlink Chatham-Kent. And this morning I'm joined by Al Baker. We're going to talk to him a little bit and learn more about that charity. Al, if I'm not mistaken, I think your official title is Al Baker, and Neighbourlink Chatham-Kent Network Coordinator. Did I get that right?
You did.
Awesome,
you did.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Al, for joining us. Just want to take a few minutes and chat with you and get to know a little bit more about Neighbourlink, as well as help our viewers and people on social media get to know a little bit more about you as well. I was trying to think this morning, has it been 2-3 years that you've been with them now?
Actually, it'll be 5.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Time flies.
It
so
does.
Kind of tell what do we need to know about Neighbourlink? If someone isn't familiar with it, do you give us the synopsis?
Well, Neighbourlink is a Christian ministry to the disadvantaged in our community, and we serve all of Chatham-Kent, right from Bothwell down to Wheatley. Our volunteers provide things like free transportation for people who can't afford it. Neighbourlink also provides food in partnership with area food banks. For instance, Outreach for Hunger, the Salvation Army, and one of our partner churches also has a pantry ministry. So that's where we draw our supplies from. And we also do things like personal budgeting. If people need some counseling with personal budgeting, we partner with Gregory Drive Alliance Church with the CAP Money course. And that's a course we also run out of our office from time to time. We have a phone buddy program, which started up out of necessity when COVID-19 came, because the phone buddy program it exists to reach out to people who are lonely and who are living by themselves, just so they can maintain some contact. Also, we have a volunteer who does free income tax return services for people who make under a certain amount of money. So any of those practical needs is what we try to meet in people.
So you mentioned the CAP course. For people who aren't familiar, that's to do with budgeting. Is that correct?
Yeah, personal budgeting. The stats of a lot of people, as far as their personal finances go, are really quite staggering and shocking in many respects. So a lot of people don't know that if they just put together a simple budget, then they can overcome a lot of the financial difficulties that they come across. And also, it's a great de-stressor. I mean, the cause of many personal problems is money problems. And if you get your money in order, a lot of the other problems will shrink as well.
So if people donate monetarily here, does the money stay locally then? Is it used in Chatham-Kent?
Yes, for the most part. There is one exception to that. We pay a user fee to Coldest Night of the Year when we do our fundraiser, but we're coming to that a little bit later in the discussion. But in all other instances, any money that is donated to Neighbourlink stays within the Chatham-Kent community and is used to serve the people in Chatham-Kent.
Awesome. Now, aside from if someone couldn't donate money, are there ways that people can volunteer and help out aside from that?
Oh yes, people can sign up as volunteers by way of our website, which is neighbourlinkck.com. And then by doing that, they can serve in many different practical ways, because everybody has a set of giftings. And what we want people to do is to know what their giftings are and then be willing to apply them in various practical ways. Some people like to drive. We can always use volunteer drivers. Some people like to cook. And one thing that we're working on here at Neighbourlink right now is a whole home economics ministry. We hope to develop that in the next little while. So lots of people know how to do lots of good practical things. And if we can get those people to mentor people who have very few life skills, I think we can change the face of our community. So it's not all about collecting money. It's also about sharing giftings and talents, basically time, treasure, and talent.
Well, and the interesting thing is, it sounds like it's not always like I don't have to, if I want to volunteer, I don't have to have the right answer to solve someone's problems. It's sometimes just a practical, being a listening ear, someone that can maybe pick up medications or drive someone transport. It's not, you don't have to have a degree. You can just use what you've got.
Yep. Applying your means.
Awesome. Well, that's nice, because sometimes we think, these things are bigger than we are, and well, those are for people who are trained that way, but sometimes it is just being kind of the hands and feet, right, to help people out.
The biggest qualification we require is availability.
Awesome. Yeah, so most of us can figure that part out. Al, you mentioned the coldest night of the year. Exit Realty CK Elite actually has been a proud sponsor and supporter of that since the inception here several years ago in Chatham. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that, and again, how people can partner when that comes around next year?
Well, coldest night of the year is our major annual fundraiser, and it's usually held either the last or second last Saturday in February. It's actually a nationwide fundraising walk, and Neighbourlink is the host charity for Chatham and the surrounding area. As I said, it's a fundraising walk. People get out there, walk, they collect pledges, and then all the money comes into Neighbourlink. And of course, everybody who makes a donation is receipted, because Neighbourlink is a registered Canadian charity.
Awesome. So 5 years, that's hard to believe already. Like we say, time flies. Over those 5 years, are there a couple of stories that stick out to you, or a couple of people that come to mind when you think about the work that you guys have done?
Have you got an hour?
Yeah, I'm sure we could extend this. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Many families with young kids have come to rely on us for food security. And that is mainly because rents are simply too high. People can't afford to pay rent and buy groceries. So we help out with food security when we can. A couple of stories. Just recently I had a call from a woman who lives alone, and during a storm, a windstorm, a tree, a very large tree, got blown over on her property and narrowly missed her house. And she has a lot of problems, like cancer being one of them, and she just can't remove it herself. So she called us. We contacted one of the local churches, and they put together a team to go out there and help her with her needs.
Wow.
But at the same time, because it's a big tree, there are lots of insurance liabilities that we have to be worried about. So we can't take that on ourselves. So what they did was they started a GoFundMe campaign. They raised money to have a professional arborist come in and remove the tree. So these are the kinds of things that we get involved in. There was another lady a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, when Neighbourlink was running the Cap Money course as Neighbourlink and not through Gregory Drive Alliance Church. We do both, as I mentioned earlier. But this lady was a recent widow, and her husband had looked after all the money in the family. And so she had to figure a lot of things out after he passed away. And so what we did was we helped her set up a budget. And she said, after the first 1 or 2 classes, she said, I can finally sleep well at night. I'm confident enough to know that I'm not going to lose my house. Wow. And I haven't felt like that for 1.5 years. So those kinds of things are what really gratifies us here at Neighbourlink.
Sure.
And that's why we're there, because and we know that there are people out there who have the appropriate giftings to help people in need like that.
Absolutely. Well, you know what, Al, we're going to post the links here to the website. I know I've gone through and watched several of the stories. There's an awesome video that you've done on a story about a lady named Louisa. There's several others there that have had different scenarios and cases where you guys have been able to come alongside. So I would encourage anyone that's seeing this to go and check out the website, have a look at some of those, explore more. And if you are available to volunteer and to help out, if people wanted to donate right now, is it the website? Is that the easiest way?
Yeah, you can go through the website, Canada Helps on our website, or you can do it by e-transfer.
Okay.
We have that available too. People can just call the office if they want any further information. Also, we accept a lot of checks. People just pop a check in the mail and send it directly to us. So those three ways are optional.
Awesome. And we'll post the office phone number here as well. Certainly appreciate you taking the time to share some about Neighbourlink and what you do here in Chatham to help people really across a broad spectrum. Anything else that we've missed or that you'd like to point out?
Well, just maybe our website, neighborlinkck.com, and also we're on Facebook. So those are two ways that people can reach us. And just before we cast off, I'd like to thank everybody at Exit, for the support that you've given us. I mean, it's one thing to be in business; it's quite another to give back and to be a community builder. And you guys are doing a great work, and we just thank you for your social conscience and your willingness to act and build up the community. It really goes a long way.
Well, I appreciate you saying that because really it's something that we've had 100% buy-in from everyone at our office, including our office administrator, who puts a portion of her weekly paycheck in, and then 100% from the agents. A portion of every transaction goes towards a local charity. So it wasn't even a hard sell. It's just the heart of the people that we have.
Yep.
And that really goes not just locally, but all the way up the ladder to corporate. The heart of Exit is giving back and charity. So it was a really good marriage for us when we bought the Exit franchise here. So yeah, people check it out. It's a great network and charity here, giving back locally. The vast majority of that money stays right here and helps Chathamites. So we encourage you to look into it a little bit further. And Al, we look forward to in the next few days having a big check presentation because we come to the end of this kind of drive, and I won't share the number yet, but if you're watching this, keep an eye open for it because we're going to have a nice check presentation, and we look forward to hearing how that money is able to help other local folks out. So thanks for your time. Really, really appreciate it, and keep doing a great work there.
All right. And, on behalf of our team, thank you to yours.
Awesome. We appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.